Verse 4, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it?
Yeah, man, the Lord shall come with fire, and his chariots as a whirlwind to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire, man.
Right.
So when the Lord comes with that fire, man, who shall quench it, man? Who's gonna turn back that vengeance and the anger of the Lord, man? For the controversy of Zion, who's gonna do that? Are you at least gonna do it? Are you kings and you governors? Is there any law that you guys can pass? Is there any peace treaty that you can sign with the Most High? No. Go ahead.
Verse 5, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away?
Right, man. Plagues are sent unto you, man. Pestilence, famine, sword, and destruction, man. Those things are sent unto you, and who can send them back, man? Because it's the judgment of the Most High, man. The Most High is angry and pissed off at you fucking nations, man.
That's right.
Because of the wickedness that y'all wrought under the sun, man. And because y'all put his people, the Lord's people, in slavery, and then you guys forwarded the oppression, man.
That's right. And speak on the plagues, this came out in the news. A woman in Oregon contracted a bubonic plague. And if you know anything about the bubonic plague, it took out millions of people in the 1400s.
Right. So the black death is coming back.
Verse 6. May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn? Verse 7. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer?
Right, man, and that arrow is talking about the nuclear missiles, man. The nuclear missiles that the Lord is going to send against Babylon and against all these other nations. Go ahead.
Verse 8. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
Right.
Verse 9. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Verse 10. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence?
That's right, man. So the Lord said that he shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence, man. So the Lord is gonna send that fire, the nuclear missiles, and the chariots to start zapping you people, and y'all literally gonna turn into powder, man. The Lord is not playing any games in these last days with you people out here, man. Go ahead. That's it?
Verse 12. Verse 12. The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof, the sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. Verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss. And shall not miss. When he begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
Right, man, and that's how you know it's talking about the nuclear missiles, man, because there's no arrow that you could shoot from one end of the earth to another, man. That's an allegory that Ezra is using for those intercontinental ballistic missiles.
What scripture was that?
You want the scripture? What scripture is that?
Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 13. 16, verse 13. Yeah.
This is Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away. What?
Could you start over again, please?
This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Right, man. So the Lord said that this shall be the plague that the Lord shall smite all them that have fought against Jerusalem, man. Who has fought against Jerusalem? Esau, Cush, Mizraim, Canaan, Put, Moab, Ammon, Japhet, Ishmael, Elam. So listen up. Listen up. Go ahead.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet.
So the Lord's gonna. So basically, this is going to be the Sarah Connor fatality. Yeah. So the Lord said that brutality. The Lord said that their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, man. So the nuclear missiles are gonna blow up, and your flesh, your skin is just gonna fall right off your body, man. Fall off the bone. Fall off the bone. God, go ahead.
And their eyes shall consume away in their holes.
Right, man. So the eyes are gonna consume away. The eyes are gonna disintegrate in their eye sockets. Go ahead.
And their tongues shall consume away in their mouths.
Right, man. So they're gonna be talking. You know, Moab going to be talking. It's gonna come right out their tongue, man. Right out their mouth. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them. And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
Yeah, man, because the Lord's gonna do that
If I can say something, I was watching it was a documentary on HBO. I believe it was called White Light, Black Rain, talking about when the Americans dropped them the damn atomic bombs over there in Japan and shit. And they explained that verse like verbatim when they were saying they went to go pick up bodies. Like one family, well, one older lady, she was old by the time they made the documentary, and she was talking about when they finally found her mom, and she was laying there, her eyes was gone. You could see her face, barely. They said they told her that was her mom, but her eyes were gone, her tongue was gone, and that's basically what the scripture was saying. So it's not science fiction. It happened before, but this time it's gonna happen on a way more vast scale.
That's a good point, man. Speaking on that, I was watching a similar documentary. They was after the bomb exploded, they was looking for people, and they saw a lady just laying down, and she seemed to be conscious. So they tried to pick her up, and as they picked her up, her skin came off her body like a glove, man. Her skin came off her body like a fucking glove, man, and she was just laying out there, man. And Aqua was telling me about that bitch that hit in the bunker, and she came out and she saw her friend that was supposed to come on the bike. Go ahead.
Yeah, over there in Nagasaki, they had a little bunker where they was dealing with all the communications for the Japanese army, and she was supposed to get up, say, 8 o'clock, but the person that was supposed to relieve her didn't get there, was running late, so she actually had to stay an extra 30 minutes. And within that 30-minute time span, that's when they dropped atom bombs. And she said, you know, once the smoke cleared and everything, she went outside and seen that girl that was supposed to relieve her, like, melted to the ground like some bubble gum.
And she saw her, she was coming on a bike, right?
Right, she saw the bike. That's how she knew it was her. She saw the bike.
God, man, and that was the judgment from the Most High, man, because you Moabites and Ammonites, y'all used to oppress and y'all used to y'all used to oppress and y'all used to slaughter the children of Benjamin, and you guys used to oppress and slaughter the children of Gad and Reuben, man. So that's judgment from the Most High, man. The Lord requires that which is past.
Quick precept on it.
Quick, go ahead.
This is Amos 2:1. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Moab, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he burnt the bones of the kings of Edom into lime. But I will send a fire upon Moab, and it shall devour the palaces of Kirioth, and Moab shall die with tumult, with shouting, and with the sound of the trumpet.
That's right, man. So there you go, man. Prophecy being fulfilled, man.
I was going to tell you real quick. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 15. Behold, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Right, man. The Lord said that he created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, man. So that's talking about you nuclear and you atomic scientists, man, that study nuclear power and nuclear warfare. The Lord created you, man. The Lord created you to blow the coals in the fire, man, to design and to manufacture those missiles. Go ahead.
Forth an instrument for his work, and I've created the waster to destroy.
Man, and what's that waster? That waster is a thermonuclear the bomb, but not just the bomb, but the actual explosion, man. The actual explosion, because when that explosion goes off, man, it flattens and devours and disintegrates damn near everything, man. You set one of those bombs off in the desert, man, and that sand will crystallize. Okay?
Verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn.
Right, man, and that's talking about the elect, man. Those nuclear missiles are not going to prosper against the elect, man. All the weapons of Esau, they're not going to truly prosper. Even the guillotines, man. Of course, they're gonna round up some of the prophets and some of the men of the Lord, and they're gonna behead them. That's true. But guess what, man? They have the reward with the Most High, man. Those men are gonna raise from the dead, man. The dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. So those weapons are not gonna prosper, man. And you Edomites and you heathens that speak blasphemy against the children of Israel, man, the Lord's gonna judge you for that shit, man.
That's right. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord,
right,
and their righteousness is of me,
right,
saith the Lord.
Right. It says this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, man. Who the Lord said that his servants was? The Lord said that his servants were Jacob. Jacob is his servant, and not only that, but he said that that he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, man. So the prophets of Israel are the Lord's servants, man. And that and being protected from the coming destruction, man, and receiving the righteousness of the Most High and being defended, that's their heritage, man.
Right.
Amos 1 and 13. This said that Yahweh for 3 transgression of the children of Ammon, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he had ripped up the woman with the child of Gilead.
Right, of Gilead, man.
Of Gilead.
Yeah, Khan. The children of Ammon ripped up the woman with child in Gilead. In Gilead, man. And Gilead was inhabited by, if I remember correctly, by Manasseh, by Gad, and by Reuben, man. So you used to oppress the children of the northern kingdom, man. So the Lord said that for those 3 transgressions, and for 4, the Lord shall not turn away the punishment thereof. Go ahead.
That they might enlarge their borders.
So that they might enlarge their border, man. And you still do that today, man. You Moabites and you Ammonites come from overseas, man, and y'all start setting up shop in the areas where Northern Kingdom be predominantly staying at, man. And y'all was doing that in the ancient world, man. That's why in the book of Judges, if I remember correctly, the Lord had to raise up a judge to fight against the Moabites and the Ammonites, man. Okay?
But I will kindle a fire in the wall of Rabbah, and it shall devour the places thereof with a shouting in the day of battle, with a tempest in the day of the whirlwind.
Right, man. So the Lord said that he shall kindle a fire, man, and it shall devour the walls of what?
The walls of Rabbah.
Khan, it shall devour the palaces thereof, man. So that's talking about a metropolis. And then it says, therefore, with shouting in the day of battle, with the tempest, which is that nuclear wind, man. And it said, Khan, in the day of the whirlwind, man. So that nuclear wind, that nuclear destruction, that was the judgment that the Most High sent upon the children of Ammon, man. Y'all thought y'all get away with it. The Lord ain't let y'all get away with it, man. Call halal yam Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man.
Right.
Like that.
Right. This is Amos, chapter 1, verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity.
Right.
And his anger did tear perpetually.
Right, man. His anger did tear perpetually, man. His anger did tear perpetually, man. So what's that talking about? That's talking about gator bait. That's talking about ripping the children out of their mother's wombs and dashing them up against the stone, man. Gator bait, feeding them to the dogs and shit. That's that tearing perpetually, man.
Smallpox in the ground, man. All that shit, man.
right, man. That's right, man.
Perpetually to this day.
Till this day, man.
AIDS, all these different cancers and shit.
Those fucking abomination centers in all the ghettos and the hoods and shit.
Right.
Take the kid and old baby.
Right, Planned Parenthood and shit, yeah.
Perpetually.
Perpetually.
It says, and kept his wrath forever. Verse 12. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah.
That's right, man. That's that nuclear destruction, man. And it said they shall devour the palaces of Bozrah. If I'm correct, Bozrah was the capital city of Edom. And what's the capital city of the world? Babylon, America, man.
That's right.
This is Edom, man. We're in Edom right now, man. We are in the capital of Edom here in America, man. So the Lord said that He's going to send a fire in Bozrah and Edom that shall devour the palaces of Bozrah, man. So the Lord's going to send that nuclear destruction, and you see these pretty high rises in Miami, in New York, those Senate buildings in Washington, all that beautiful architecture, man. The Lord's going to disintegrate all that shit, man. And it's going to be a beautiful day, man. It's going to be a terrifying day, but Lord willing, we get delivered, man. It's going to be a beautiful day to see the fall of our enemies.
That's right. That's right.
I got one now.
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 34, verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. And that's talking about them nukes, and when they hit the mushroom clouds that come afterwards. Verse 5. For my sword, which is talking about the nukes, shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So the sword, the main enemy right now is Esau. And the Lord gonna make sure his sword, all them nuclear missiles, they gonna hit Idumea. Like the brother just said, we're in Edom. Idumea is the Greek way of saying it. Verse 6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness. And with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord has a sacrifice in Bozrah.
Right.
So when we talk about Idumea, Edom, Bozrah, it's talking about Esau, the so-called white man, over here in America.
That's right. That's right.
In the great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Let me go down to verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, in the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. So you fucked with the wrong ones.
That's right. Hey, that's right. God.
Basically.
In other words, he don't fucked up.
You don't fuck up. God, and verse 1 said against all the nations, right?
Come ye nations. Verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
Right, upon all nations, man. So you heathens, y'all hear us talking about Esau. Remember, the Lord said against all nations. So Ham is gonna get it, Japheth is gonna get it, and the rest of you Shemites are gonna get it too, man.
That's right. Right.
It didn't say some. It said all